a secure smartphone-based tool containing information about the user's well-being. The way that they are going to use this to, of course, invade your body, because your body is not yours in the event of a pandemic. Your body is the state's. Whether that's a national government or a global government, at any rate, the government gets to tell you what to do with your body and what you cannot do with your body, including where you can go and what you can or cannot or must not put into your body, like the vaccine, which we all know is coming. So I think that's quite obvious. I don't think that even needs any elaboration, that this is a gigantic boost to all of those globalist health institutions. And as a knock-on, of course, all of the economic infrastructure and the World Bank and IMF that are, of course, being raised as part of the problem that has been generated by this crisis that has been generated by the governments that have shut down the global economy in order to deal with this medical emergency. Well, of course, as I've talked about and elaborated, this is an excuse for precipitating the economic crisis that has been baked into the cake for a very long time, which they are now going to blame on coronavirus, when it actually has nothing to do with that. If you don't understand that, please see my recent conversation with John Titus, where we talk about the lies of the Federal Reserve with regards to the coronavirus scare, of course, because again, this is the shot in the arm for every globalist agenda, so it is also a shot in the arm for the complete and total Orwellian surveillance of everything you do and everywhere you go, as evidenced by articles like this one. The US is tracking people's movements with phone data, and it's part of a massive increase in global surveillance. And it goes on to talk about governments across the world galvanizing every surveillance tool at their disposal to help stem the spread of the novel coronavirus. And they go through this report where they note, for example, the US is reportedly gathering data from the ads industry to get an idea of where people are congregating, but we also know they're working with big tech in various ways, Google and other companies, in order to extract your location data in real time to understand where you are and where you're going and who you've interacted with. South Korea gives out detailed information about patients' whereabouts, and this report notes how people can go and check where various infected patients are moving on their smartphone app and track the movements of other people. Iran asked citizens to download an invasive app tracking all of their movements. Israel passed new laws to spy on its own citizens, which I covered here recently on the program. Singapore has an app which can trace people within 2 meters of infected patients. Taiwan can tell when quarantined people have left the house. Austria is using anonymized data to map people's movements. Poland is making people send selfies to prove that they're quarantining correctly. Belgium is using anonymized data from telcos. Germany is modeling how people are moving around. Italy has created movement maps. The UK isn't tracking yet, but is considering it. It is reportedly working on an opt-in contact tracing app. And on that note, well, how is that going to work? An opt-in system. Who's going to bother to opt into a government-controlled app that's going to track everything you do and everywhere you go? Well, there may be a specific reason why you might have such an app, namely, immunity passports could speed up return to work after COVID-19. And this case, this report coming from The Guardian about a week ago, this case, they're not talking about immunity passports to travel internationally. No, this is to go to work, to access public transit, to do anything in the public sphere is going to require an immunity passport to show that you've got the antibodies or you've got the vaccine. If you've taken the vaccine, you'll get your immunity passport and you'll be allowed to travel, to work, to make money in order to put food on your family's table. So it's completely opt-in, guys. You can choose if you want to do this. It's just if you want access to anything in the public sphere, you're going to have to take the shot. And when we start to understand what this agenda is really about, which is total and complete control over every aspect of every human being on the planet, their movement, their actions, their activities, their transactions, their interactions with people, down to the individual level, the complete and utter control of your life in every regard, well, guess what? That is being enabled on the back of this pandemic scare.